Namaste friends, my name is Samit Garg. Welcome to my channel Vedic Astro Amit. Today we'll talk about Guru Maharaj, Jupiter. 2025 will bring a lot of changes, big major shifts. Jupiter will change signs several times actually, and then Saturn will change signs. Rahu Ketu will change signs. We'll have a discussion on all of those separate videos. But this one is for Jupiter in Gemini from May 14th through October 18th. So it'll go to Cancer on October 18th, and then it'll go retrograde. It'll come back in Gemini for a short duration. That'll be a separate video. Before we begin, we'll discuss all of the 12 signs. But if you want to learn astrology, we have in-depth, very practical courses coming up. One is on Panchang, how to use astrology in day-to-day life for decision making. That's Panchang and Muhurta. They'll be starting on February 2nd. That's a short course, 4 weeks. And then we have a beginner's course starting on February 11th. That's a 24-week online in-depth course. So you can check out all the details on my website, vedicastroamit.com. All right, let's begin. Okay, first of all, Aries rising, Aries Lagna, Aries ascendant. These videos are based on the rising sign, not the moon sign. So Jupiter, Guru Maharaj, will be in your third house, sign of Gemini, during these months, May through October. And Jupiter is the ruler of ninth house, and it is the ruler of 12th house in your chart. So the ruler of ninth house and the ruler of 12th house is sitting in your third house. Okay, so that's the transit. And now from a third house, Jupiter will have trinal aspects. Jupiter always have, these trinal aspects. So basically it is aspecting your sitting in the third house and aspecting your seventh house and 11th house. So your Kama Trikona is activated, especially because Rahu will also be there during that duration. We'll have a separate video on Rahu. Rahu also has trinal aspects. In fact, all planets have trinal aspects in as per Bhrigu Nandinadi. So your Kama Trikona is activated. What does that mean? That means this period, this transit of Jupiter for Aries rising will be very, very powerful for fulfillment of desires. Kama means all the desires we have. So it'll be good for many, many different areas of life. We'll discuss all of that in detail. And so now Jupiter, first of all, general qualities or things that Jupiter represents. Jupiter is expansion. Jupiter is wisdom. And Jupiter is dharma. Jupiter is ether element. It's space. It holds everything else. So those are the powerful blessings of Jupiter, blessings of Guru in our life. And Jupiter is the planet that touches, 5 out of 12 houses in your chart right now. So that it's the ruler of two houses and sitting in one and aspecting two others. So almost half of your chart is influenced by Jupiter. So that's why transit of Jupiter is very, very powerful, very important. So for Aries rising, your third house, your seventh house, your ninth house, your 11th house, and your 12th house are being impacted by Jupiter. So wherever Jupiter goes, we have to follow very closely. So what does that mean? So this period will bring blessings for your younger siblings. Your connection with your younger siblings will improve, will have more spiritual foundation, and also same thing with your neighbors and with your close friends. That's the third house, Jupiter. Secondly, your communication skills will improve. You'll have good lasting impression, especially written communication and also networking. And if you do sales or marketing, all of those. And then writing. This is very powerful. This 5 month period for writing. If you do any sort of writing, but if even if you're not a writer, uh, try to do more. Like newsletters or sending out emails, important stuff through written communication. And if you're a writer, for publishing, this is absolutely going to be fantastic period. And also reaching out to the masses. Rahu is in the 11th, so the third and 11th both houses are activated. They are aspecting each other. We'll have a separate video on Rahu and Ketu. But your houses for reaching out to people, communication, social media, and then also networking through short distance travel that is within the city. So meeting people, organizing meetings, face-to-face meetings, and then also attending conferences, things like that within the city. So those all areas will give you tremendous results during these 5 months. Then third house is also our skills that we learn. Guru Maharaj, Jupiter is, as we mentioned, is the planet of expansion. It's the planet of wisdom and dharma. So this is powerful time for you to learn some new skills during these 5 months, especially with your hands. Third house represents our hands. So pick up some instrument, guitar or any piano, anything like that. Or if you're an energy healer, use your hands like pranic healing, Reiki. This will be very powerful period. This will give you wisdom and expansion and the spiritual foundation, really good energy, as we say, for learning new skills. Not just like, picking up something and then, not forgetting about that in a few months. This will be long lasting. This will be something that will stay with your life throughout your life. So start something, some new skill. It could be anything. That's the third house. Then your subconscious mind will be completely activated. So the 12th Lord is going to the third house. That means you should talk about your experiences and communicate to people about hidden stuff, about esoteric stuff, about a subconscious mind, about your dreams, about astral travel, all of those areas. Also, a good period, these 5 months, to establish communication with people in foreign countries or discussing about the foreign projects, setting up things in a foreign country, doing business in a foreign country, dealing with people from foreign countries. Same thing, ninth lord is going to the 12th house. So that means this is the time for having discussions and communication about higher wisdom, about dharma, about your spiritual path. That's all ninth house. And also this combines the long distance travel and the short distance travel. So you see, we have three main houses for travel. That is the third house, ninth house, and 12th house. Third house is very short distance travels, like within the city. Ninth house is long distance travels, could be to a different state. And then 12th house is travel abroad. So all of those houses getting activated. So absolutely perfect time to travel, especially could be a spiritual travel, pilgrimage, or it could be a business trip. And then also, your spiritual elements in your business travel as well. You combine the spiritual and business aspects. Now, also, this is an excellent period for having discussions with your gurus. Establish better communication with your gurus. That's ninth lord going to the third house of communication. And then also with your spouse, with your partner, that's the seventh house aspect of Jupiter on the seventh house of relationships. So this will be the year, these 5 months, excellent for you to develop one-on-one partnerships that have a spiritual foundation. That's Jupiter aspecting the seventh house. And see, Jupiter is the friend of your chart. Jupiter is the friend of Mars. That's the Lagna Lord, right? So you always want to see if the transiting planet is, how friendly it is with the Lagna Lord, which is Mars. So Jupiter and Mars are good friends. Mars is the warrior in chief. Jupiter is the guru. He's the advisor to the king, and so they work together. So this is a great combination. So anything Jupiter is doing in the chart for Aries rising, it'll be for your betterment. So all these five houses activated by Jupiter now will give you much better results versus when Jupiter was in the other houses. So these 5 months will bring a lot of positive results. Now, one thing is, this may also give you excessive desires because Jupiter is expansion, and then Rahu is also sitting in the 11th house. So that's one major thing you have to be very careful that. Yes, you can think big. You can, think of big projects, be very ambitious. That is Rahu in the 11th house also. But still, you want your desires to be more spiritual, not just like excessive desires. And also be careful in dealing with day-to-day challenges. In fact, Jupiter in the third house, that the third house is how we deal with our challenges. That's the parakram, how our courage, our strength. So that means in your daily life, you'll have more wisdom. The way you'll deal with your challenges, obstacles, is through wisdom. But that may not be good always, because let's say sometimes we do need to be very aggressive or very strong in the moment to deal with challenges. So that's something you just need to be cautious about. If there's something very difficult, or like that's asking for you to be very courageous and strong, in that area you may feel sort of disappointment. So remember, not always you can deal with big challenges through the energy of Jupiter. So you need this Martian energy as well. That's your Lagna Lord. So activate Mars energy as well throughout this period. You can chant the mantras for Mangal Mars. You can do Hanuman Chalisa. All those things are going to be good remedies for you throughout this transit. And then you will combine, this aggressive, this action-oriented energy of Mars with the wisdom of Jupiter. So then it'll become really powerful combination to deal with the day-to-day challenges. So that's for the sign of Aries, Aries rising. Next, we'll discuss Taurus. Next, we have Taurus rising. Now, for Taurus Lagna, Jupiter will be transiting through your second house. And Jupiter is the lord of your eighth house, and it's the lord of your 11th house, right? So basically the eighth lord is going to the second house, and the 11th lord is going to the second house. And Jupiter, because it has a strong trinal aspect, so it will be aspecting or impacting or affecting your second house, sixth house, and the 10th house. So all these three houses are going to be activated. And that is your Artha Trikona. Trikona means a triangle. And Artha means all the resources and wealth and abundance. So those houses will be active. So that's second house. Let me point that here. So that is your second house, sixth house, and your 10th house. So that's what we're talking about. Jupiter will completely activate these three houses. So there'll be a lot of focus on wealth, on abundance, on work, on profession, on career, all of those areas. And about the resource, Artha means, the groundedness and the resources and the security, financial security we have in life. So that'll be the focus during these 5 months for uh, Taurus rising. Okay. Now Jupiter, of course. So now, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 out of 12 houses are activated. That's true for all rising signs, but which houses, that depends on the rising sign. So for Taurus rising, so your second house, your sixth house, your eighth house, and your 10th house and 11th house, those are all going to be activated throughout this transit. So what does that mean? First of all, Jupiter sitting in the second house will give you results of that house. Now, Jupiter, always remember the inherent qualities, all the blessings of each planet. Jupiter is expansion. Jupiter is wisdom. Jupiter is dharma. Jupiter is the space element. It's ether. It holds everything else. So naturally, you'll have more wisdom, more expansion in these areas, especially for the second house. So that means your family wealth will grow, literally. You'll do lots of things, or you'll at least set foundation for long-term growth of your family wealth, your accumulated resources. Secondly, this will also lead to expansive speech. So these are the 5 months for you to go and speak, give presentations, give webinars, and your speech will have this deep wisdom. It'll come from a very deep place. Very powerful for you to go out and be a speaker. Share your wisdom with others through your speech. Your Saraswati will be sitting on your tongue. Then your food will be more sattvic. It'll be good for your diet this whole period. You'll have focus on your health also. That sixth house, health will improve. You'll have more, focus on establishing dinacharya, the daily routine. Jupiter Guru Maharaj will help you establish that and stick with that. And then you'll have focus on your career, big focus on either you do a job that is sixth house, or have a business, your own business profession, that is 10th house. And as of course, Rahu is sitting there as well. So your Artha Trikona, the second house, sixth house, 10th house are completely activated. Not just Jupiter, but this is like powerful combination of Jupiter and Rahu as well. Okay. Now, always see whether Jupiter, how Jupiter is with respect to the Lagna Lord. So Taurus rising, the ruler of the first house, that's the Lagna Lord is Venus. And so Jupiter and Venus, these are the two gurus. So now that's a good combination for a balance of material and spiritual progress. So and then through, especially through the activation of Artha Trikona. So a lot of focus on money, a lot of focus on wealth generation, long-term wealth generation, a lot of focus on your current job or your profession also. You'll develop better connection, more relationships, partnerships with people at work. And then also now your eighth lord is going to the second house. So you may get inheritance, you may get money from other people or shared resources from your spouse. If you are into finance or money management, this will be excellent for you. If you're a money manager or managing other people's money, this will be very powerful. The eighth lord itself going to the second house of wealth generation. Okay, and then also there'll be esoteric wisdom, that is eighth house. Eighth lord going to the second house means you got to talk about all your hidden wisdom, all the esoteric stuff that you learn, the wisdom beyond the three dimensions, that is eighth house. That's going to the second house, literally asking you to talk about it, share your experiences through your speech. At the same time, 11th lord going to the second house. So that's a powerful, very, very powerful Dhana Yoga. It's the Dhana Yoga means a combination for money, for wealth. So literally, your income will grow. 11th lord represents your daily income, like monthly income, the money you get from your profession. And that is going, the lord of that house going to the second house means that income will help you grow your accumulated resources, your savings long term. So it's not just that you'll earn more income, it is also going to help you save that money and grow your long term financial resources. So very powerful time. The focus, the whole focus will be on money and profession, and also at the same time, speech and all, but also esoteric wisdom. So there'll be and of course, eighth house again also is about money, in many ways, money of other people. So a very powerful transit and good for many areas. Now, the areas of caution is you may end up focusing too much on work, profession, money, because the Artha Trikona and Rahu in the 10th house of career. We'll have a separate video on that on Rahu Ketu, but you got to have a balance of work and life. So it'll give you energy and wisdom and resources and ambition to shine in your career and bring more money, more financial resources, but you got to strike a balance that you also take care of your health, which Jupiter will help with that respect as well. But you have to also focus on your home life, your family and other things besides money and career. So that's one big recommendation. So that's for Taurus rising. Next is Gemini rising, Mithun Lagna, Gemini ascendant, Gemini Lagna. Now, so we're talking about Jupiter's transit in the sign of Gemini. So Jupiter will be going to your Lagna. Absolutely fantastic transit for you. So let's see what's happening. First of all, Jupiter affects 5 out of 12 houses in everybody's chart, at least 5, right? So because of the trinal aspect and because of the rulership and because where it's sitting. So let's see which are those houses. First of all, it is sitting in the Lagna, first house. And then it is also going to aspect your fifth house and your ninth house. And it is the ruler of your seventh house and your 10th house. So essentially, it will be activating your Dharma Trikona. I'll explain what that means. Okay, so these are the 5 houses that Jupiter will be activating through this transit. The first house, the fifth house, the seventh house, the ninth house, and your 10th house. A very powerful transit. Now, what does all that mean? First of all, Jupiter. Let's discuss what Jupiter represents. Is it a friend of the chart? And what are the inherent qualities, blessings of Jupiter? Jupiter is the guru of the god. So Jupiter is expansion. Jupiter is the ether, the space element that holds all the other 4 elements. So it is the holding power and also expansion and wisdom and dharma and the rituals also, and studying the scriptures, all of that is Jupiter. So how will that impact you as Gemini rising? See, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and Jupiter is wisdom, Mercury is knowledge. So, Mercury is now telling you these 5 months, absolutely crucial for you to, yes, Gemini has a tendency to learn a lot, gain a lot of knowledge, but now Jupiter is saying all of the things you have learned, all of the knowledge that you have gained, acquired, all of the information, data, analysis, everything you've been doing all your life. This is the time, uh, this happens after 12 years because Jupiter comes to the same sign after 12 years. So Jupiter is telling you now, sitting in your Lagna, these 5 months, that it is time for you to digest all of that knowledge and turn it into wisdom. A lot of times we keep collecting data, collecting information and knowledge and reading and studying, but then it doesn't become wisdom. So we have to digest that. And there comes a time when we've been reading a lot of stuff, we've been trying to acquire a lot of knowledge and wisdom, or at least information on the internet or through books or courses, all of that. Now Jupiter will help you uh, transform that, all of that, into wisdom. That's the most powerful thing happening. That's the biggest blessing. Jupiter going to the Lagna, first of all, it is like Guru is sitting on your head. So gives you a lot of blessings and takes away 1,000 blemishes in the chart if Jupiter is sitting in the Lagna. So spiritual awakening, expansion of your wisdom, expansion of yourself, your personality will shine. And good time for you to be a guru for other people. Act as Jupiter. Any planet that goes in the first house means you act like that planet. You become that planet. Your being, your personality, yourself will display all the characteristics of that planet. So that means Jupiter in the first house, you will shine as a guru, as a teacher, as a coach, as a consultant. And that could be, totally on spiritual lines, or could be in your profession, on material plane as well. You can be a guide, a coach, like a wise teacher, or even a consultant, doing consulting as your part of your job. All of those areas will be extremely powerful for you. So you'll have uh, expansion of yourself. You'll discover who you are. You'll be very comfortable in your skin. You'll act as a guru, wise influence on other people. And then now it is completely activating your Dharma Trikona. Jupiter always has a trinal aspect. Dharma Trikona means it's a triangle that is formed by the first house, the fifth house, and the ninth house. So, because Jupiter has aspect on these houses, and Rahu is sitting there in your ninth house as well during this transit. Rahu again, trinal aspect. So, it's a very powerful activation with the combination of Jupiter and Rahu, activation of your Dharma Trikona. Again, Dharma is your duty, your responsibility, righteousness, all of those. And ninth house is Dharma as well, your spiritual path. Right. So fifth house represents your children, your romantic relationship, your creativity. All of those areas will shine, but all of those areas will shine in a very with a very spiritual foundation. So it's not just like material expansion. It is all uh, based on spiritual teachings and the path of righteousness. So that means, to summarize, I mean, some of these things. First of all, expansion of yourself, better for your health also. Jupiter in the first house will give you blessings for overall physical body because that's the first house. Then it'll be a fantastic period for your children or your connection with your children. Spend more time with your children. Go on a pilgrimage with your children. The first, fifth house, and the ninth house are activated, and the seventh lord as well. So go on a spiritual journey with your children or with your romantic partner, and that is the fifth house. And at the same time, be very, very creative. Create, give birth to a lot of things. That is fifth house. Jupiter literally is telling you, sitting in the first house. Same thing with your partners also, with your spouse as well as your business partnerships. Literally, the seventh lord is going to your first house. That means you will have a lot of opportunities to develop very spiritual partnerships. Your connection with your spouse, with your partner will improve. It'll have more spiritual foundation, but also you'll develop for your business also. You'll have lots of people coming to you. You know, the lord of a house going to the first house means that person is coming to you. And so Jupiter being the guru and being the lord of the seventh house means, you know, even just sitting at home, you'll have a lot of people coming to you to develop these good, expansive spiritual partnerships. So this is the year for you to develop solid, powerful spiritual partnerships. At the same time, ninth lord going to you, so you will also have gurus coming to you. So this is the right time, you know, for you to receive blessings of gurus. So people always say, oh, when will I find a guru? This is the time. For Gemini rising, these 5 months, the gurus, that is the ninth house lord, will be coming to you. That is the first house. And also, that means more spiritual discussions. You yourself will act as a guru. Spend more time with your spiritual sangha. Spend time at the temples, focusing on your spiritual path. And spiritual travel, that's ninth house. Also good for higher studies, let's say for your job, for your profession, for your career. If you have been thinking of enrolling in some higher courses, PhD or postgraduate, this is the time. The ninth lord going to the first house. And good for, of course, the 10th house. That is, your career will be important for you during these 5 months. Your work, your profession will be on your mind. That means you'll spend a lot of time, and good for your career expansion of career as well. So those are the blessings, and your Dharma Trikona completely activated. Uh, Gemini, one of the, among the 12 signs, probably you will feel this powerful energy more than anybody else. Of course, you have to see what Mahadasha, Antardasha you're running. You have to see your natal chart as well. But Jupiter is a friend of Mercury, in the sense Jupiter, not the biological father, but Jupiter adopted Mercury when Mercury was born out of Chandra and Tara, Jupiter's wife. Still Jupiter, accepted Mercury as his own son. So Jupiter is friendly with all planets, but the other way around also, the energy is compatible, Jupiter and Mercury, because Mercury is all the knowledge, very, very smart, communication and sense of humor, analysis, all that is Mercury. And then Jupiter turns all of that into wisdom. So very powerful, huge blessing for Gemini rising. Next is Cancer rising, Cancer Lagna, Cancer ascendant. We're discussing these transit of Jupiter in the sign of Gemini. For these 5 months, Jupiter will be in your 12th house. So let's see what's happening. First of all, Jupiter is here. That is your 12th house. And Jupiter from here will be having a trinal aspect on your 4th house and your 8th house. So basically all these 3 houses are activated because of the trinal aspect. So that becomes your Moksha Trikona. Moksha Trikona. Trikona means triangle. Moksha means liberation. Okay, so this is going to be activating your Moksha Trikona. Moksha means these 3 houses, the 4th house, 8th house, and 12th house, relate to our liberation in one way or the other. 4th house is inner happiness. 8th house is change, transformation that leads to detachment and also deeper spiritual wisdom. And then 12th house is all the hidden stuff, subconscious mind, those things. So this is in a nutshell, in summary, Moksha Trikona activated means spiritual awakening. This will help you liberate, basically. And at the same time, Jupiter is also the lord of your 6th house, and it's the lord of your 9th house. So Jupiter, as you can see, affects 5 out of 12 houses for everybody, but which houses, that depends on the rising sign. So for Cancer rising, Jupiter is impacting your 4th house and your 6th house and your 8th house because of the aspects, and your 9th house and 12th house. So let's see what all that means. First of all, Jupiter itself is the planet of expansion. It's a planet of dharma. It's the planet of wisdom. And the element, it's the space element. It's ether that holds all the other 4 elements. So those are the qualities that will color all of these 5 houses. Now, how to read this? Now, this Moksha Trikona also gets strength from Rahu's transit in the 8th house that makes you a fearless warrior when it comes to deep esoteric wisdom. So you'll go very deep, like very, very deep esoteric stuff like tantric wisdom and all of that. This is a fantastic period for you, and you'll have blessings of the Guru from there. Uh, I'll have a separate video on Rahu Ketu, but overall, this is not just Jupiter activating Moksha Trikona, this is also Rahu. That's a combination of Jupiter and Rahu. Now, Jupiter is going to be in your 12th house. First of all, that is activation of your subconscious mind. Blessings for deeper esoteric wisdom, connection with your ancestors. This is the year when you'll have guidance and messages and blessings of your ancestors. So focus, pay attention to your ancestors. Do lots of rituals, tarpan, daily tarpan, for ancestors, or give donations in the name of your ancestors. Just think about them, meditate on them, give thanks, gratitude for ancestors. Or literally, you can do yoga nidra, dream yoga. All of those lucid dreaming, those things will be very, very powerful for you. Or any other stuff like the astral travel, energy healing, hypnotherapy, because your 8th and 12th and 4th house are very powerfully activated. And then also foreign travel, that is Jupiter in the 12th house, uh, especially pilgrimage, spiritual travel, or more connection with foreigners, foreign people, foreign projects. Those things will give you lots of good results. Then 12th house is also hidden things. Okay, so now you have to see if the planet Jupiter is the friends with the chart's lord, that is Moon. Moon is the ruler of Cancer. Now, Jupiter and Moon have a very interesting relationship because Moon was the disciple of Jupiter, the Guru, but then Moon ran away with wife of Guru. So you have to be careful. One big caution during this transit, when Jupiter will be transiting in the 12th house of hidden things, hidden secrets also, that you are very clean in terms of relationship. There are no hidden stuff going on when it comes to your relationships, especially intimate relationships. Okay. Secondly, 12th house represents our expenses also. So this may be a year of extra expenses, but Jupiter is a spiritual planet. So one good remedy or thing you can do is voluntary expenses, which means donations, but also investments. This is the big year for you to make investments. 12th house represents all our investments. It is the house of losses also, which, expenses, but investment is in a way you're parting with your money. You're putting it somewhere else. So do, lots of investments, give lots of donations, especially to gurus and priests and temples. And that could be in a foreign country as well. That'll even activate the 12th house energy further. So all of those things you can do. At the same time, maybe you'll buy a bigger home. Expansion in your 4th house matters. And 8th house, you may get inheritance. You may have more money from other people, but deeply spiritual period, spiritual transformation, that's 8th house, and especially Rahu sitting there. Now, 6th Lord is going to the 12th house. So again, like secretive things, there's a theme here. So be careful not to have any hidden secrets. There could be hidden enemies as well. 6th house is enemies and 12th house is hidden. So you have to be careful, but Guru Jupiter will give you wisdom to discover any hidden enemies. So this is going to be a good blessing in that respect. And also good combination for doing business or doing job, maybe abroad. So going abroad for a job or tour or travel for your job, literally, that's 6th Lord going to the 12th house. Then you also have this is the 9th Lord. So Jupiter is your 9th Lord going to the 12th house. So both these houses are the houses of long distance travels. 9th house is like within the country, you can say, but still long distance. And then 12th house is abroad. So absolutely fantastic period for you to travel quite a bit during this 5 months. Travel abroad or long distance, and especially for spiritual purposes like pilgrimage, visiting temples, meeting your gurus. Your gurus will come to you, or you may want to go and see or meet gurus in a foreign country. So all those areas are going to have huge blessings of Jupiter. That's for Cancer rising. Then we have Leo rising, Leo Lagna, Leo ascendant. So for Leo, what's happening? Jupiter is your fifth lord for Leo, and Jupiter is also uh, for Leo rising. Jupiter is your eighth lord, and it is transiting through the uh, the 11th house. Okay, so the 11th house is, of course, getting activated by Jupiter. And then also, Jupiter always has a trinal aspect. So the third house and the seventh house as well. So what's happening is these three houses are having a trinal aspect of Jupiter, the third house, seventh house, and 11th house. And now we also have Rahu sitting there in the seventh house. So that will further activate these three houses for sure, because Rahu also has strong trinal aspect. And so your Kama Trikona is getting activated. Trikona means triangle, Kama means desire. So these three houses represent our desires in different forms. So third house, seventh house, and 11th house. And it's not just Jupiter activating, Rahu as well. So actually, one of the big caution for Leo rising is you may have tendency of excessive desires when Jupiter goes to your 11th house. So you have to be cautious about that. And that could be like for pleasure, for even like sexual desires, but also like wanting more things, just not being satisfied with what you have with the status quo. So that is something you have to keep in mind throughout this transit. But overall, lots of blessings happening. So you see the fifth lord is going to the 11th house, and the eighth lord is going to the 11th house. So that's the full picture. So let's see now what all that means. Uh, First of all, 11th house, where the Jupiter will be sitting, will have all the blessings. Jupiter itself, you want to see what are the qualities of Jupiter. It's expansion and wisdom and dharma and space, ether. So lots of connection with people, lots of good spiritual friendships, lots of uh, your presence on social media will improve. You'll connect with people at large, not in a just not like posting stuff for what you ate, but helping people through your wisdom. So you'll reach to a lot of people on social media. So that's going to be very powerful, and you'll develop lots of good friendships, long-term friendships that will be uh, Jupiterian in nature. So spiritual foundation for all those. And then 11th house is our income, literally. So your income will improve. You'll see more money coming in every month. And then also, because activating the Kama Trikona, so all your communication will shine. So you'll have really good expansion in terms of reaching out to people. So the recommendation is do lots of marketing, lots of sales, lots of networking, short distance travel, meeting people, organizing meetings, meeting clients face to face, attending conferences. All of that will be very powerful because your third house and your 11th house will be activated. And then also your connection, your relationship with your younger siblings as well as older siblings will improve. And also with your friends and your very close friends, your neighbors, all those connections will give you much better results and much better energy. Now, fifth lord is going to the 11th house. So that means literally means gains from your children, gains as in, you'll see expansion in their life maybe, but also your relationship will be more expansive with them. Same thing with your romantic relationships, the fifth house. The Lord is going to the 11th house, so it'll be good if you are in a romantic relationship, or if you are looking for one, you'll have a lot of opportunities this year, especially during these 5 months. Okay, and then really good time for being creative. Fifth house is the house of creativity, and 11th house is the house of gains. So that simply means you'll gain a lot through your creativity, or give birth to a lot of creative ideas, creative projects. That's going to give you a lot of good results. Now, eighth lord is going to the 11th house as well. This is the year for you to learn esoteric subjects, register, start some courses in astrology or any other esoteric fields that you're inclined towards, because eighth house is all the hidden wisdom, all the esoteric wisdom, and then 11th house means financial gains. So literally anything you do during this year to enroll in any courses will give you financial gains. It'll be good for you. I mean, 11th house Jupiter means expansion of your gains, especially if that's going to be the eighth lord, literally expansion of finances through esoteric subjects. And now Jupiter is also the good friend of the ruler of the chart, right? So for Leo overall, Jupiter is a very good planet, although it's the eighth lord, but it is very has a great influence on your Lagna lord, the sun, because Jupiter is the advisor to the king, who's the sun. So yes, there will be a lot of change transformation. That is, eighth lord. That's the nature of the eighth lord. But it's also your fifth lord, which is one of the Trikona houses. So that's going to give you a lot of blessings for all of these 5 out of 12 houses. So your third house, your fifth house, seventh house, eighth house, and 11th house, those are going to see the blessings of Jupiter during this transit. So that's the analysis for Leo rising. Next is Virgo rising. So we're talking about the Jupiter's transit in the sign of Gemini. And as you can see here, so Jupiter is transiting through your 10th house. It's the fourth lord and it is the seventh lord here. So fourth house lord and the seventh lord. That is transiting through your 10th house. And from the 10th house, Jupiter is has the trinal aspect on your second house and sixth house as well. So let me show you here. So your Artha Trikona is getting activated. Now, Trikona means, let's just put it here on the side, this or like this. So Trikona means triangle. Artha means resources and finances. It's the literally the word earth, that's groundedness, all of that, financial security and work and profession. So that's all Artha Trikona. So your second house, 10th house, and sixth house are getting activated. Plus, of course, your fourth house and your seventh house are ruled by Jupiter, and it's transiting through your 10th house. So these are the 5 houses out of 10. The second house, the fourth house, sixth house, the seventh house, and the 10th house, those are getting activated through this transit. So what does all that mean? First of all, let's understand what Jupiter represents. Jupiter is expansion, Jupiter is wisdom, Jupiter is dharma, all of those things in our life. And so wherever Jupiter goes, you'll experience that kind of results. Now, first of all, this will be your 10th house. Jupiter in the 10th house, that represents your business, your profession. So literally, this means expansion in your work, in your profession. Huge blessings of Guru. You'll have more ideas. You'll be more wise. You'll be, like a guru, a coach, a consultant to other people. So this is the year for you to rise and shine in your career. No matter whether you do a job, that is sixth house, or if you have a profession of your own, you're a business of your own, that is the 10th house. So huge opportunities, big opportunities, and expansion in your work, in your professional life. That will also add up to your family wealth, to your financial resources, to your accumulated resources, your savings. All of that is second house. So your finances will improve a lot. And then at the same time, you'll develop more connections at your work, like more business connections. That's Jupiter in the 10th house. Second house also represents our speech. So this is the year, especially these 5 months, you should give more lectures, more presentations at work. And then also you can bring more groundedness and spirituality, basically, in your work, in your profession, in some form or the other. Now, the fourth lord is going to the 10th house. That means, your inner happiness will come through your work, through your profession. This more expansion in your career will give you more happiness. And then also that means could be travel as well for work. Seventh lord going to the 10th house, same thing. So your spouse may actually help you with your profession in your work, or your partner. And also excellent combination for developing long-term one-on-one business partnerships, business connections, because the seventh lord represents one-on-one partnerships and 10th house is your career, your profession. So there'll be lots of people who'll actually be coming to you to develop partnerships with you. So those are a lot of blessings that you're receiving. Essentially, you want to see where the Lord is going and sitting. So those people will come to you for that area. But then wherever Jupiter is aspecting, so those are the blessings that Jupiter will give to you in those areas. So it'll be also good for health. Developing your dinacharya daily routine, that sixth house, good for your diet, the food that you eat, and of course the speech that we talked about, and doing volunteer work, helping other people. Those are all the sixth house matters, and also resolving any legal issues through wisdom, through negotiation, through discussions. And Jupiter being a friend of Mercury, the Lagna Lord. Jupiter actually is not, it's actually friends with all other planets from Jupiter's perspective. But Mercury, you have to see the energy. So Mercury is all the knowledge, the information, the data analysis, communication, all of that. And then Jupiter actually converts all of that knowledge into wisdom. So the digested knowledge becomes wisdom. So that's why whatever Jupiter is doing for Virgo rising, that means you will have like long-term results uh, in that area, because Jupiter will actually extract all of the naturally Mercury rising people have a lot of knowledge, a lot of information. So Jupiter will continuously help you process and digest that knowledge and turn it into wisdom. And now during this transit, that will happen in the area of your career. That's your 10th house. So that's for the Virgo rising. Next is Libra rising. Now, for Libra, let's see what Jupiter is doing. We're talking about Jupiter's transit in the sign of Gemini for these 5 months, mid-May through mid-October. Jupiter will be uh, transiting through your ninth house, and Jupiter is your third lord, and Jupiter is your sixth lord. Okay, and from here, Jupiter from ninth house, Jupiter will be aspecting your these three houses, the first house, fifth house, and of course the ninth house where it's sitting, because of its trinal aspect. So basically, Jupiter will be activating these three houses, and these are known as dharma trikona. Trikona means triangle. Dharma means your righteousness, your duty, your responsibility, your dharmic path, spiritual path. So all of that will be activated, especially because Rahu is also sitting in the fifth house, one of the trikona houses, dharma trikona. So very powerful activation of these three houses. We'll discuss specifically what things they represent. Uh, Now, and then at the same time, the third lord is going to your ninth house, and the sixth lord is going to the ninth house. So, what does all that mean? First of all, wherever Jupiter is sitting, the ninth house is completely activated. That means you will shine as a teacher, as a guru. You will meet new gurus or more discussions with your gurus. You'll have blessings of the gurus. You'll have a good association with your spiritual sangha, spiritual friends, and long distance travel, pilgrimage, higher studies, especially. You can enroll in some higher studies, courses or graduate programs. Become a teacher, become a guru, and help other people through your wisdom. And this is because, see, Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus is the material success, and Jupiter is the spiritual success in life. So those areas are, so Jupiter will help you have a balance in those areas. Then we have the fifth house and the Lagna. So your whole personality will shine. You'll become more wise. And then also, this will impact your children as well. Better connection with your children, more spirituality in their life. They will become more inclined towards spirituality, expansion in their life. And then same thing with your romantic relationship if you're in one. And so that is going to give you a lot of opportunities to meet new people if you're looking for one for a romantic relationship. And this is the time for you to, you know, be more righteous, be very, very ethical. The Dharma Trikona is getting activated. And same, your personality also, your being, yourself, you'll feel this expansive energy, and you'll discover who you are, and better for your health also, The first house represents overall health, and especially it's the sixth lord also going to the ninth house. So that will give you, more focus on your health, and then also the sixth house represents our weaknesses also, Shadripus, our enemies and obstacles. So, sixth lord going to the ninth house means literally you want to surrender all your inner weaknesses, all your external enemies, anything obstacles. You just surrender them at the feet of your gurus. That's the ninth house. So, this lord going to the ninth means you just take all of your worries and everything and surrender, offer them at the feet of your gurus, or just through resolve all your conflicts and these and inner weaknesses through spiritual discussions with the help of your gurus, or you yourself being being a guru, helping other people. So that's a powerful remedy. Same thing with the third lord going to this ninth house. So your younger siblings actually could come to you as being your gurus. You may learn things from your younger siblings, or from your neighbors, or from your close friends. And also they'll have more, spiritual inclination during this period. Your networking and communication, that is third house, will become more spiritual oriented. It'll have a spiritual focus. And this is also a very creative period. Fifth Lord going to the ninth house. I'm sorry. So it's not the fifth lord, it's the Jupiter giving aspect to the fifth house. So basically, what happens when a lord goes to a particular house, that means that person, that area of life, getting influence of that area where where the planet is transiting. But in this case, so anywhere Jupiter is aspecting, that means it is showering its blessings on that area. It's like looking at that area. It's the drishti, is the aspect. So these are the five houses out of 12. Those will experience the blessings, the expansive energy, the wisdom of Jupiter in your life for Libra rising. Next is Scorpio rising, Scorpio Lagna, Scorpio ascendant. And for Scorpio, Jupiter is your second lord and Jupiter is your fifth lord. And it is currently transiting through your eighth house. Okay, so and from eighth house, it'll have a trinal aspect on the fourth house and the 12th house as well. So your Moksha Trikona is getting activated. That means, so I'll show you here, these three houses. Trikona means a triangle. These three houses are getting activated because of the trinal aspect of Jupiter, and also because Rahu is sitting there as well. So there is mutual aspect. Rahu and Jupiter both are activating your Moksha Trikona. Moksha means liberation. So these three houses, fourth house, eighth house, 12th house, give us liberation. And uh, that means literally spiritual awakening. Now, Jupiter means expansion. Jupiter is wisdom. Jupiter is dharma, spiritual path. Jupiter is the space element, ether, which holds all the other four elements. So you will experience those qualities, those blessings of Guru Jupiter, first of all, in your eighth house. That means expansion of esoteric wisdom. Literally, this is the time when you should enroll in some courses, learn some esoteric stuff, astrology, astral travel, energy healing, hypnotherapy. Both your eighth and 12th are activated, and the fourth house as well. So through those things you will find inner happiness. Through those things you will awaken your subconscious mind. That's the 12th house. You will also receive blessings from gurus, from not gurus, from your ancestors. That is past life. So practice past life regression, or yoga nidra. Those things are very powerful. Now, Jupiter is also the friend of the Lagna Lord. Lagna Lord is Mars, so that's why Jupiter is an excellent planet for Scorpio rising, and also ruling two of the good, second house and the fifth house. Now, transiting in the eighth house means you will experience a big deal of change and transformation, more on the spiritual side. You may also get inheritance. This is a powerful period, these 5 months. You may get inheritance, you may get money from other people, or through shared resources from your spouse. All of those areas will give you very positive results. At the same time, second lord is coming to the eighth house. That means there'll be like hidden secrets that will be revealed with respect to your accumulated resources. So literally, that means you may have ideas about how to grow your finances, your money. And then also the fifth lord going to the eighth house means same things. Your children if you have kids, they may become more spiritual, more interested in understanding the secrets of the universe. Or on the negative side, there could be some hidden things going on. So you got to be careful as well with respect to your children or with respect to your romantic relationships. So that's one area of caution is in your romantic relationships, if you have any, or if you're looking for one, there could be some hidden stuff going on. So you got to be careful on that front. This will be a period when you'll have huge spiritual creativity because eighth house and 12th house, these are spiritual houses. And then the fifth lord going there, fifth house is creativity. So give birth to a lot of creative ideas on the spiritual lines. And one other caution is be careful in terms of any speculative investments. This is not a financial advice, but in general, the energies, because there could be some hidden stuff going on. Fifth Lord going to the eighth house. But overall, you see, these are the five houses that'll have blessings of the Guru, of the Jupiter, expansive energy of Jupiter, the second house, the fourth house, the fifth house, the eighth house, and your 12th house. So that's for the sign of Scorpio. Then we have Sagittarius rising, very important, of course, your Lagna Lord. So wherever your Lagna Lord goes, transits, that area becomes very, very important. You want to track your Lagna Lord very closely. So what's happening? Of course, Jupiter is transiting through your seventh house. And from here, Jupiter will be aspecting your third house and your 11th house. So your Kama Trikona is getting activated. What does that mean? So these three houses, the third house, the seventh house, and the 11th house, are directly under the influence or aspect of Jupiter, and especially Rahu is sitting there. That also has strong trinal aspect. So your Kama Trikona is getting activated in a very powerful manner. Trikona means triangle, Kama means desires. So this will bring fulfillment of desires. That's going to be the theme for you during these 5 months. Massive, massive gains in terms of, uh, like getting things that you desire in your hands, literally manifesting things. Also, there's caution, not to have too excessive desires. There may be a tendency to be not satisfied with what you have already because the Rahu is insatiable desires. Sitting in the Kama Trikona in your third house, Rahu is influencing your 11th house as well and seventh house. So, any desires in your relationships, especially or sexually, but also wanting things that you don't need. That may be one possible, tendency during this transit. That's big caution. But overall, Jupiter and Rahu will manifest a lot of desires for you. At the same time, Jupiter is also your, of course, Lagna Lord, and it's also your fourth Lord. So the Lagna Lord and the fourth Lord, they are going to the seventh house. Now, understand what Jupiter represent in our life. Jupiter is expansion, it's wisdom. Jupiter is dharma. Jupiter is the space element, the ether element that holds all the other four elements. So most importantly, this transit, first of all, will bring expansion in your one-on-one relationships, one-on-one partnerships, one-on-one connections with other people. So that includes your spouse, your partner, your personal connections, but also your business partnerships. Any one-on-one discussions, connections that will grow, they'll have spiritual foundation, they'll give you wisdom that will be based on spiritual discussion. So great time for you to reach out to people, to have more spiritual discussions and develop those long-term, lifelong partnerships. At the same time, this will also bring positive energy and better relationship with your siblings, both younger siblings and your older siblings. And this will improve your presence on social media. That is 11th house. And also good for communication overall. Third house represents our communication, especially written communication. And third and 11th house, it's all networking and marketing and sales. Those areas will be very, very fruitful. You'll receive a lot of blessings in those areas. And then your Lagna Lord is going to the seventh house. That means Lagna Lord represents you, and you have to reach out to people to develop those partnerships. That's what it means. So it's not the other way. So if seventh Lord going to the Lagna means people will come to you, but Lagna Lord going to the seventh means you have to go and develop those partnerships. It will not be a waste. Your efforts will give you a lot of good, solid spiritual partnerships, but you have to do the effort. That's the thing here for Sagittarius rising. Same thing, the fourth Lord is going to the seventh house. That means Your inner happiness will come from your deep long-term partnerships. You'll have a lot to do with your partners, and then also uh, uh, maybe more investment in real estate with your partner, like buying a home together with your partner, or vehicles, new cars or vehicles, along with your partner. So a lot of getting into these partnerships connected with real estate or houses or your vehicles, those will bring you good results. You have to be cautious also. One thing that you don't focus too much on these partnerships or your desires, because when the Lord goes to a particular house, your mind, your logical mind is always thinking about that area. So be careful that the partnerships do not take over your life. So you don't want to go to the other extreme as well. But yes, the partnerships will be a very important part of your life throughout this transit 5 months. So those are the five houses that will be directly impacted. They'll receive blessings of Guru during this transit. The five houses are the first house, the third house, the fourth house, the seventh house, and your 11th house. So that's the analysis for Sagittarius rising. Next is Capricorn rising. Capricorn, Jupiter is your third lord, and Jupiter is also your 12th lord. So that planet, the third lord and the 12th lord, is transiting through your sixth house. Okay, so that's let's see here. So this is the sixth house. So Jupiter is transiting through your sixth house, and from here, Jupiter will have a trinal aspect on your second house and your 10th house. So basically, your Artha Trikona is completely getting activated by Jupiter. I'll explain what that means. Trikona means a triangle. Okay, Trikona is triangle, and Artha means resources. That includes money and all the financial security and job and career and profession. All of that is going to be activated. That means Capricorn people will be focusing a lot on their career, on developing more financial resources, acquiring more resources, more investment, more long-term financial security, and focus on your job, your profession. That'll be the theme during these 5 months. Then there's two other areas we'll discuss, but Artha Trikona is getting activated because Jupiter has aspect on these three houses, but at the same time, Rahu is there, sitting there in one of the Artha Trikona houses as well, in the second house. And Rahu again has a very powerful trinal aspect. So they are both uh, giving power to your second house, sixth house, and your 10th house. We'll have a separate video for Rahu Ketu, but overall, a lot of ambition, a lot of ideas, a lot of innovation for your second house. That is how to accumulate family wealth, how to grow your financial resources, and Jupiter will give all the blessings from here. So fantastic period to think out of the box when it comes to family wealth and the Artha Trikona houses. And Jupiter will give you expansion in your job, especially if you do like job for somebody, but also in your business, if you own your business, if you work for yourself. This is also a good time for doing a lot of volunteer service to other people. That's the guru, giving you all the wisdom and energy to help other people. Also focus on your health, that is sixth house, your dinacharya. This is a good period to set a new routine, daily routine, and stick with that. And then also you'll have opportunity to resolve any conflicts through wisdom. If you have any legal issues going on, try to use wisdom and try to get counsel from gurus and spiritual people that'll resolve the issues, any obstacles, external obstacles, but also internal six weaknesses that we have. You'll get all the wisdom and the blessings of the gurus to resolve those issues and get rid of your inner weaknesses. That's for Capricorn rising. Now, at the same time, the third lord is going to the sixth house. There could be some obstacles, challenges with respect to your younger siblings or your close friends or your neighbors. You have to be careful. But as long as you use the wisdom and the blessings and the guidance of the gurus, then those things will turn into blessing. And then same thing, the 12th lord is going to the sixth house. There could be a theme of some hidden stuff going on because 12th house and sixth house both are hidden issues, enemies or obstacles or challenges. So you have to be careful not to ignore anything, or things may not be as they seem to be on the surface. You'll have a lot of opportunities and projects from abroad. for your job, for your work. That is 12th house people, 12th house projects from foreign countries coming to your work, to your profession, your job. And but also at the same time, because sixth house is obstacles and challenges also, uh, there may be obstacles from if you work with foreign people, or if you have a business in a foreign country, you have to be careful about that. There could be some obstacles. But again, as long as you use wisdom and get the counsel or guidance of gurus, that is Jupiter, those will turn into a blessing. Your subconscious mind will be active, and you'll get ideas and guidance through your ancestors, through astral travel, through other planes of existence, other beings, with respect to your job, with respect to your health, with respect to how to resolve issues and conflicts in your life. That is the meaning of 12th lord going to the sixth house. So these five houses out of the 12, the 12th house, the second house, the third house, and the sixth house, and the 10th house, those are getting the blessings of Guru. And Guru is also a friend of your chart. Saturn and Guru are they work together. So it's a good combination. So these, especially your focus will be all on your career and your financial wealth. But again, be careful not to go to the extreme and ignore your family life or your home or children like that. So you have to have a balance. So that's for the Capricorn rising. Then we have Aquarius rising. We're talking about Jupiter's transit in the sign of Gemini for during these 5 months, mid-May through mid-October. Now, for Aquarius rising, Jupiter is your second lord and Jupiter is your 11th lord. Now, I call Jupiter as the money planet for Aquarius rising because it rules both the money houses. 11th house is your income, and 12th house is your second house is your accumulated resources, your family wealth, your savings. And the same planet rules both the houses. That means in your life, anything to do with money, you have to look at Jupiter, how it's placed in your natal chart, what it's doing in the transit. Uh, if you're running a Jupiter Mahadasha, Jupiter Antardasha, those things will have a huge impact on your finances. So right now, during these 5 months, in fact, Jupiter will be transiting through your fifth house. Okay, so from fifth house, Jupiter will have a trinal aspect on your ninth house and your lagna. So basically, your dharma trikona is getting activated. So what does that mean? This is the triangle. Trikona means a triangle. This word trikona means triangle. And then dharma means righteousness and your duty, your responsibility, your purpose. All of that is dharma. So these three houses represent your dharma. The first house, the fifth house, and the ninth house. Why they're getting activated? Because Jupiter has a trinal aspect. At the same time, Rahu sitting in your lagna still throughout this duration. And in fact, from the end of May, actually, Rahu will go into Aquarius end of May. And so Rahu also has a very strong trinal aspect. So these three houses are getting immense power from Jupiter and Rahu. Basically, Rahu makes whatever planet Rahu influences, it just exaggerates or makes its power 1,000 times bigger, right? So this is the period for Aquarius rising to focus on your dharma, to do the right thing, to be righteous, and follow your spiritual path. That's the big message, especially during these 5 months when Jupiter is transiting, activating your dharma trikona. At the same time, Jupiter is also your second lord and your 11th lord. So the second lord is going to the fifth house, 11th lord is going to the fifth house. So what does all that mean? First of all, Jupiter, you want to see what are the qualities of Jupiter, what are the things it represents. Jupiter is expansion, Jupiter is wisdom, Jupiter is dharma itself. And then space element, ether, it holds everything. So it has the power to hold a lot of things and to give space and expansion. So excellent transit for your children. Excellent transit for your connection with your children. Good for romantic relationships if you are in one, or if you're looking for a romantic relationship. This period will bring you a lot of opportunities to meet even very spiritual people. And then also great for creativity. Fifth house represents our creativity. So give birth to a lot of creative ideas, a lot of projects. Good for speculative investments also, but this is not a financial advice. But overall energy will be expansive. At the same time, the ninth house getting blessings of Jupiter. So you will have good opportunities for higher studies, better connection with your gurus. You yourself can be a guru, help other people, and then also long distance travel. These are all ninth houses, house matters. And then first house getting the blessings of Guru. So you will feel expansion in your life, in your personality, in your being, you'll feel more confident and more spiritual, and you'll act as a guru for other people, as a guide, as a coach, as a consultant. Overall, this will also improve your health because Jupiter's influence on the first house gives us better health, good immunity. And then the second lord is going to the fifth house. That means you will have a lot of ideas how to improve your financial wealth. That the ideas is the fifth house, and at the same time, you'll have your friends circle will improve, will expand because the 11th lord is going to the fifth. This period will bring a lot of gains for your children, uh, even like financial gains in their life. And at the same time, you'll also have a lot of creativity in your speech, creative ways of presenting things or giving presentations. That's a very strong area also. So these five houses will receive blessings during this transit: the first house, the second house, the fifth house, your ninth house, and 11th house. Those houses will flourish, will blossom in different ways, as we discussed. But you'll have the blessings and the wisdom of gurus to give you expansion in these areas of life. So that's for the Aquarius rising. Next is Pisces rising. Very important transit, of course, because we're talking about your Lagna Lord. Jupiter, of course, is your Lagna Lord and also your 10th Lord. And that planet is transiting through your fourth house. And sitting in the fourth house, Jupiter gives you the aspect on your eighth house and your 12th house. So that means your Moksha Trikona is getting activated. I'll explain what that means. So these three houses. So Trikona means triangle and Moksha means liberation. And these three houses form the Moksha Trikona, the fourth house, eighth house, and 12th house, because they give us liberation. Fourth house is inner happiness. Eighth house is all the change and transformation through spiritual awakening. And then 12th house is literally awakening of the subconscious mind, exiting and other planes of existence. So these three houses will give you powerful results during this transit for Pisces rising. Now that is also getting more power because Rahu is sitting in the Moksha Trikona as well. Rahu again has a very powerful trinal aspect, just like Jupiter, and so you'll get 1,000 times more powerful results of this activation of Moksha Trikona because both Jupiter and Rahu are causing that. So what does that mean? First of all, you have to understand what Jupiter represent. Jupiter is expansion, Jupiter is wisdom and dharma, and Jupiter is space, it's ether element. It holds the other elements, all the other four elements. So literally, this is the time period, and especially because we're talking about your Lagna Lord, this is the time period for liberation, literally. And do lots of spiritual sadhana, do lots of spiritual work, energy work, deep cleansing, healing work, study some esoteric subjects, enroll in some courses, hypnotherapy, past life regression, talk to your ancestors. I mean, Rahu in the 12th house will give you direct access to other planes of existence. We'll have a separate video for Rahu Ketu transit, but overall, your subconscious mind will be completely active. Do lots of these, guided meditations. At the same time, sitting in the fourth house means expansion of your residence, maybe renovation in your home, or you'll buy a bigger home, or also very good for real estate, especially fourth and eighth house activated, good for buying new vehicles, and also inner happiness. You'll focus on what makes you happy. The Lagna Lord going to the fourth house means you will discover happiness in your home. So in your home, create a sanctuary, create a, like a spiritual room, or uh, for meditation, for spiritual discussions, invite people to your home. And then this is also a period where you'll get a lot of projects or ideas or good results for your career sitting at home. Like things will come to you. And also, for example, there could be like real estate deals that you will be presented with some opportunities for real estate and things like that. It's going to be a period of change and transformation, 8th house. And also, you'll have more connection with foreign people, foreign projects, and good for foreign travel also. Your all those 12th house activities are areas are activated. And also, you have to be careful. There could be some hidden things going on as well, because 12th house represents all these things like we are not aware of. So these are the five houses that are being affected by Jupiter that will receive blessings of Jupiter. The first house, fourth house, eighth house, and then 10th house and 12th house. These will you'll experience expansion and good results related to these houses. So that's the major transit, the shift that's going to take place from mid-May through mid-October. Jupiter is a slow-moving planet, and it goes back to that sign after every 12 years. So it's not a very common occurrence. So see which houses you'll have blessings based on your rising sign. And also there are other major shifts happening. Rahu Ketu will be changing signs. Saturn will be changing signs. Lots, big eclipses this year. So it's very powerful uh, period. A lot of changes, a lot of shifts. And we'll have other videos for Mercury, Venus, Mars, all of those. So you combine all of that and then see how that may manifest in your life. Of course, you have to look at your natal chart. So if you want a deep dive, you can book a consultation. Also, we're starting a course on Muhurta and Panchang starting February 11th. That'll be I'm sorry, February 12th, February 2nd. That'll be a 4-week course, a short mini course. And also, we're beginning the beginner's course, February 11th. That's a 24-week course, live course on Zoom. You can check out the details on my website, vedicastronomy.com. And also, if you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for your time. We all have a wonderful, auspicious, very spiritual transit of Jupiter in 2025. Namaste.